So what I'm about to show you is a video that just shows how ridiculous the culture of the right and the left are when it comes to social issues in this country, especially over the last 4 years, but particularly when it comes to the pandemic and wearing masks. So there's this guy, his name is Heckles Kishner, I believe. I'm so sorry to the folks in the Jewish community. I just butchered that name. I didn't even lie. Look, I'm black. I can barely pronounce black names. Okay, I'm trying. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. But yeah. So this guy was leading a protest to protest Cuomo and De Blasio's lockdown. And he got heckled by a left-wing reporter, it seems. I don't know if it was a real reporter or if it was just like a troll, but you'll see what I'm talking about. By the way, this video came from Lassie Burlot. I'm just messing up all the names today. I believe it's Burholt. Excuse me, Lassie Burholt, which is like it seems like it's like a right-wing channel that reposts different content. But let me show you how ridiculous this is. In the video, you have the Jewish people protesting and they're burning masks. And then you have this heckler who just says the most ridiculous thing to them around children. And it just goes to show how no matter what side you're on, how this country is basically just losing its shit when it comes to cultural issues, and it's ridiculous. Let's take a look.
Do we hate De Blasio? Yeah! Do we hate Cuomo even more?
Yeah! Hershey Tischler, hero of the community. The people want to know, do you like vaginas? Yes or no? The people want to know. I want to know.
There are kids around.
Everybody,
There are kids around.
everybody. Where are you going? How are you blocking
There
me?
are kids around.
Where's your vagina? Why are you talking like this?
You're telling people not to wear masks during a pandemic. You're a very dangerous person, Hershey.
Get out of it. Get out of it. Right now. Right now. Get out of it.
You're a dangerous guy, Hershey.
All right, stop.
You're telling people not to wear masks during a pandemic. You're dangerous. You're a racist.
Get out of it.
Dangerous. Dangerous.
I'm sorry. He said, do you like vaginas? I want to know. He said, hey, where's your vagina? He basically called him a pussy. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. That is hilarious. But it's also equally, utterly and unequivocally ridiculous. Listen, first of all, Kumo's lockdowns have been really strict, man. This has devastated and decimated the community both economically and probably mentally as well. So, regardless to whether you believe that you should be wearing a mask and that we need a total lockdown or not, and, I'm saying this as a lefty, these are people. These people have lost their jobs. They lost their income. They might be losing their homes right now. They might have lost loved ones to COVID-19. And they're both financially and mentally impacted by this. And you're making fun of them. Now, look, I have no problem when the guy says, hey, you're irresponsible because you're telling people not to wear masks. If that's true, and I don't know for a fact that this particular gentleman said this, Kishner, I believe his name is. Once again, I apologize if I, messed up the name. If he said this, then yes, you're right. That's 100% irresponsible. But for you to heckle and make fun of people who are protesting because they've lost their jobs they've lost their income. They're, mentally fatigued from the lockdown. And now they can't even go to their place of worship. And their community, cannot come together in the same way. You should feel for these people. Now, does that mean that they're right and that we should have no restrictions and have a free-for-all? Well, no, absolutely not. But you should not be making fun of these people. These are American citizens. These are human beings. And see, this is the problem I have with the left. See, a lot of times on the left, we'll have the right position, but, they'll talk about how Republicans are cruel and heartless and they, dehumanize people. This guy's doing the exact same thing. Okay, the exact same thing. So attack the issue, please. Attack the policy. Do not minimize or make fun of the people. Attack them on the issue of the policy. Now, when it comes to an individual like, let's say, Donald Trump, for instance, who's being irresponsible, I have no problem with you attacking him for being irresponsible. But don't just make fun of people and, make jokes. These are people. These are people's lives, okay? That's the first thing. Secondly, they were, making a pile of masks and setting them on fire to protest, which, look, you can protest however you want. I don't care. But it's ridiculous. Okay? You should be, if anything, burn some pictures of Kumo or something, or de Blasio, in no way am I advocating for, burning their pictures or anything, but that would get the point across more than just burning masks. All you're doing by burning masks is you're hurting yourself because you now have no protection from the coronavirus, okay? And guys, this virus is real. This virus is airborne, and people need to understand that. Now, I don't know exactly when this happened. This does seem like it was very recent, but it may have happened a few months ago. I know sometime Leftie uploads things that have happened before. There's they have a lot of content on their channel. I'll leave the original video link below for those of you who want to check it out. But this is but you know what? This type of behavior, whether it's the burning mask or, they all have Trump signs. This is a direct result of Congress inaction. Congress has done nothing to help people in this pandemic, but give a one-time payment. And they give all the money to corporations, with their, and tell them, hey, you can't fire people for 6 weeks. Then you can fire whoever you want. No. See, this is why people are protesting in the streets. When you tell people, hey, you're not going to have a job, and your income is going to be unstable, and you might lose your home, and we don't want to give you another stimulus. Oh, yeah, and by the way, you can't go to church either. And you can't worship. This is the result. And I know a lot of people are going to say, hey, well, it was the Republicans who did this. The Democrats tried to pass the stimulus and failed. Nancy Pelosi and them, don't let anything fool you. They're not giving up any ground in the negotiations because they don't want a stimulus to pass. Because not having the stimulus pass will make Trump look better. Don't kid yourself. This is all political. And they would rather you lose your job before they negotiate with Trump and pass a stimulus. Because you see with the first stimulus, if they want to negotiate something, they'll pass it. Matter of fact, they bended the knee and gave up so much. The first stimulus, it did give money to Americans, but it was terrible. It gave most of the money to corporations. So, they're equally to blame. Okay? Now, Donald Trump might be the most to blame because, of him interfering with the talks and stuff, but everyone's to blame here. Everyone's to blame. Our system of government, Democrat, Republican, I don't care what side you're on, has failed the American people. And they failed us time and time again. And these people in the streets, this Jewish community, this community of Orthodox Jews, they are tired of it. Okay? They are tired. Now, I'm not saying that they're right in their political position, that there shouldn't be a lockdown, or that they should be allowed to gather, or that we shouldn't wear a mask. But it's important to remember that the reason these people are acting this way is the same reason why I'm doing this blog. Although we have different beliefs and approaches, we are all tired of the failure of the American government. And to make fun of these people is utterly ridiculous. Have we gotten to a cultural point where we can no longer empathize with each other? Or we can no longer recognize each other as fellow Americans, that everything is blue and red? Everything is partisanship? Have we gotten to that point? It would seem so. It would seem so. It would seem that we have gotten to a point where you cannot look at a fellow American with different beliefs and see their pain and see why they are doing this. You can only look at them and see a partisan enemy. Guys, we're not enemies. We are all Americans. That doesn't mean we all get along. Doesn't mean we all love each other all the time. Doesn't mean everything is sunshine and roses and apple pie and, French vanilla ice cream or barbecues. But it does mean that we, at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, we all come from the same family. Look, I had a falling out with my father about 2 years ago. I hated my father for a while, but we're all family. And the fact that you hate someone or doesn't like them does not change your family. You can't change family. And right now, more than ever, Americans need to come together. We need to come together. We need to empathize with each other's pain. We need to realize that we're all a family, whether we like it or not. And we need to demand that Congress and the government pass the stimulus package. Because if they don't, things are not looking good. In the country, they always say, the fabric of our nation is ripping at the seams, is at stake, the very fabric. The fabric is ripped. And if we don't fix it soon, it ain't looking good. Yeah, so, look, I'm going to leave this here, but if you don't take anything away from this video, listen, no matter what side you're on, try to empathize with the others. Don't make fun of somebody for being tired of the system or for being frustrated at the situation. We are all frustrated. Don't make fun of them. Don't. Please just don't do it. And don't make fun. Also, if you're one of those people on the right who are making fun of people who are listening to masks and you've gotten this far through this video of this left-wing commentator, that's a good sign, number one. But don't make fun of people for wanting to wear a mask or being scared of the virus. This virus is real. My friends have gotten this. My family has gotten this. My friend's mother was in the hospital for 3 weeks, nearly in critical condition with this. This is real, okay? So everyone just please try to empathize each other and quit the ridiculous, partisanship and, making jokes and making fun of each other. It all needs to stop, okay? It needs to stop.